Welcome to week 3 of EDU 6500. I hope that you're having a good week and that you are learning a lot as we make our way through advanced reading and literacy instruction. This week we are discussing Chapter 4, the what of reading, which has to do with the reading curriculum, and Chapter 5, who does what, which really takes a look at the personnel involved in various schools. So let's first talk about the reading curriculum. Depending upon the school that you are in, you may or may not have some freedom in choosing your reading curriculum. Those of you who are not yet in a school may not realize this, but the administrator has the freedom and can make decisions about how closely the teachers follow the reading curriculum that is specified by the district. Some schools specifically follow Reading Wonders to the T. That's what their administrator has told them to do, so that's what they do. Other schools allow the teachers a little bit more freedom to use what we call trade books, which are like novels or short stories, real books that the kids can get out of the library, that you can have class sets, various types of literature, and teach reading through that. Some schools also have technology in their schools that they can supplement the reading curriculum. We have to remember that curriculum basically is what we use to teach. Our reading books, reading wonders, the books we get out of the library, the technology, that's not the what of what we teach. The what of what we teach are the standards. We must teach the standards, the Florida standards, because that's what our students are responsible to learn. Now, in my opinion, you should have some freedom in your classroom to choose how you teach those standards. And even Reading Wonders is just a resource. Now, I used a basal curriculum in the classroom as I saw fit. There were certain stories that I liked, certain ones that I didn't. My main source of reading curriculum was the trade book or books out of the library, and I created literature circles and did my teaching through whole group, and then we would divide up into literature circles to practice our skills. Then every so often I would include a Reading Wonder story, or at that time it was some other curriculum. So if you are not happy with what your principal has you doing for reading through curriculum, the first thing I would ask you to do is to go and talk to your talk to your principal and talk to your grade level. Is this what they really want? Make an appointment, talk with your principal, see if he or she will give you a chance, 9 weeks or so, to see if you can teach reading through another way. If you're comfortable with the Reading Wonders curriculum, then that probably is a good fit for you. Also, with reading curriculum, we have to look at our schedule. What are we actually doing with the students? Now, these are 2 sample schedules, and the sample schedules are usually going to include whole group teaching, some small group, and hopefully independent reading, because that's what we want our students to really do, is to use the strategies and skills that we've taught them and put them into practice during their independent reading. So I don't know how you schedule your reading block, but it is important that we focus on our skills and strategies, but the bulk of our time should be giving students opportunity to actually read, not read through worksheets and do practice skills, but actually to read and then discuss that. So now let's talk about our school personnel. Up at the top right, you see the classroom teacher. That's you. You are the most important person in a child's life that can make a difference in what they learn and what they achieve during the school year. We also have other personnel that may or may not be present at your school, but that some schools have. So I thought we would discuss those. A reading coach is generally used for teachers, to support teachers in finding the right materials and resources they need to have a successful reading block and to reach all students through differentiated instruction. A reading specialist works more with the students. The classroom teacher might refer a child to the reading specialist for some assessment and some one-on-one teaching, and then that reading specialist will give feedback to the classroom teacher as to what the teacher can do in the classroom to support that child's learning. You also have the special education teacher who, if you have an inclusion model, may come into your classroom at the time and help you out in teaching reading. You also have pullouts and some self-contained classrooms in which teachers can pull students out and teach them reading, or keep them in the classroom at that time and teach all subjects. You then have your administrator, who is in charge of your school and makes decisions that affect all of the rest of these people. The administrator is the key to a successful school. I encourage you to find a school in which your vision matches your administrator's vision. This week you have your discussion forums on the 2 chapters, our blog or our discussion on the portal page. Basically, I left it open to you. What did you read or view this week that really made you think? There are also some suggested readings on what works to improve literacy instruction, the 90-minute reading block, and School Leaders Matter. I also hope that by this time you are really narrowing down on what you want to do for your research paper, and that these suggested readings help you to do that. Here are some videos that I've selected for you that can also help. Small group literature circles and 5th grade book club discussion on The Giver. Now, the one on the left is from the teaching channel. The one on the right I found on YouTube, and I did watch it. I'm not advocating that this is the way I want it, or I think that book club discussions should run, but I am saying that this is a good example of what you can do in the classroom, and then you tweak it to fit your students. The last one is a little bit longer. This particular author, Linda Darling Hammond, is a well-known teacher-educator author. She is very high up in teacher education and is looked on as a key person that has made a lot of changes in teacher education in the past few years. And she has put together a presentation about the school principal and leader and what impact that has on the school. So that may again be the direction you're looking for your research, so I wanted to include that as well. Your assignments due this week. We do have a synchronous session on Wednesday, July 13th from 3 to 4. I hope you can join us for that. Remember, you're only required to do 2, but you can certainly do more than that. You have your discussion forums for 4 and 5. Posts due on Thursday, July 14th by 11:55, and replies by July 17th, 11:55. Also due this week are your research questions. Please make sure you give me 2 to 3 research questions, and then I will help you refine those questions and give you some feedback on those. The earlier you get them in, the better. In 2 weeks, you have an annotated bibliography of 10 articles, books, or journals. There are samples of those in the syllabus. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to email me. Have a great week.